Alright, welcome Algebra 2. Now in this video, I'm going to have a guest feature today. I have my friend, he's from Burien, you know what I mean, doing a little bit of math to give you a little breakdown of how to go from vertex to general and what exactly does vertex form tell us about the graph. Let me go ahead and give you my friend. His name is Oso. Hey Algebra 2, welcome. My name is Oso and I'm here to give you a guest feature on how to do problems like this, okay? Now let me show you something. Here, x plus 2 squared, that's going to tell you whether you're going to move to the left or to the right. And with the equation, when it's the opposite, well, if it's x plus 2, just like maybe you saw with the other equations, this is going to be negative 2. Okay? And over here, the plus 1 is going to tell you to move up 1. Okay? So we go up here, and it's up 1, right? So that tells us our vertex. And now, once we know our vertex, we know that's the axis of symmetry, and we can go ahead and make our U shape. So factor form in the previous videos tells us the roots, the x-intercepts. Vertex form tells us the vertex. It tells us the minimum or maximum, and it's where it cuts the graph in half, right? So that's how we know it looks like. How do we go from vertex to general? Well, let me show you, okay? We're going to get y equals, okay? Well, you see how we have x plus 2 squared? Well, the squared is telling us basically that we're going to do x plus 2 times x plus 2 plus 1. Alright, the 2 here is telling us that we're multiplying the entire thing by x plus 2. Okay, after we got this, now we're going to go ahead, you know what I mean, and pretty much, you know, factor this whole, not factor, but distribute the whole thing out, right? So we're going to get y equals, alright, and we're going to get x times x, well, that's going to give me x squared. Then x times 2, that's going to give me plus 2x. And then 2 times x, that's going to give me 2x. And then over here, 2 times 2, well, 2 times 2 is 4. But we cannot forget that we have this plus 1 out here, so we got to do the plus 1. All right? So we'll get y equals x squared plus, well, 2x plus 2x, that's just going to give me 4x. And then the 4 plus 1, well, that's just going to give me 5. All right? So there we go. We were able to figure out how to go from vertex to general form right here. Remember, in general form, the number on the last number on your term here tells you your y-intercept. So over here, it would be 5. All right, pretty cool, huh? All right, let's go ahead and do one that has a dilation a part of it, huh? Maybe one that's a little bit more tricky. So let's try negative 2. We'll do x minus 2. I don't want to do a 2 too many times, so let's do a 3 squared plus 4. Okay. So if you were curious on how that would look on the graph, well, you're going to take the function, because it's an x minus 3, you're going to move to the right by 3. And because it's a plus 4 here, that means you're going to move up by 4. So your function is going to look like that. But we have to be careful because we have a negative on here, right? The negative is going to tell us that it's a reflection over the x-axis. It's going to look something like that. It's upside down now because of the negative. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. So we have the x minus 3 squared, all right? The square here is going to tell us, that we're going to have the x minus 3 twice, being multiplied by itself twice. Okay. And now once we get that information down, we can go ahead and get started, right? Well, negative 2, or we'll just keep it consistent like we've done in the other videos, right? So we're going to get negative 2. I'm going to put a big parenthesis here, but then we have this plus 4, okay? The reason I'm putting this big parenthesis is because we need to distribute this whole thing, okay? So let's go ahead and do it. So what's x times x? Well, that's just going to be x squared. What's x times negative 3? That's just negative 3x. What's negative 3 times x? Well, that's just negative 3x again. And negative 3 times negative 3, that's going to be positive 9. Negative 3 times negative 3, that's a terrible 3. The negatives are going to cancel out and you're going to get a busted 9, okay? You understand where I'm coming from? Okay, let's continue. All right, so right here, we're going to get x squared still, right? Well, now we can combine this, right? We have negative 3x minus 3x. That's going to be minus 6x. But we have this plus 9 here and then the plus 4. All right. So, cool. we're pretty far, have been able to kind of at least kind of do this step by step, right, until we get it. Now we just go ahead and do, well, negative 2 times x squared is negative 2x squared. Negative 2 times negative 6x is positive 12x. We just have to be careful because of the negatives. Negative 2 times 9 is negative 18 plus 4. Okay. Last but not least, we're going to get y equals negative 2x squared plus, well, we just have the 12x, right? But over here we have minus 18 plus 4, so we can compute that, and we're going to get minus 14 on the outside. All right. And last but not least, this is going to be my final answer. All right. So we went from this vertex form here all the way down to its general form down over here. Like before, the number on the outside of general form tells you your y-intercept. Okay. So now we were to go up here, that means that this value here, right, would be negative 12. Cool. All right. Hopefully that helps to explain at least one aspect on how to make that conversion possible.